Good evening, Marion County. What about that Marion County flag flying over that beautiful blue sky? Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. Welcome to what is an effort to offer another forum to answer questions from Marion Countyans. We welcome you to the fourth ever question and answer live event. If all goes well, and I think it's going well, hopefully sound wise and everything. I remember to unmute my mic this time. I just checked the feeds. That's what I was doing while the flag was flying. If all things continue to go well and are going well, this stream is available simultaneously on our Facebook Live at www.facebook.com/Marion County Clerk Office and on our YouTube channel at www.youtube.com/@Marion County Clerk Office. I am your clerk, Chad Mattingly, and thank you for the opportunity to answer some questions and to provide this outreach, this educational opportunity, this interaction to hopefully answer some questions that people have had and spark questions and hopefully prepare us for the future. We started tonight at 6 o'clock, planning to go until at least 6:30. I just told my beautiful wife that there's a chance that this goes over, even if nobody calls this phone right here, which we have available right here. You want to hear it? Hold on, let's turn it up. Let's turn it up. I can hear it. I don't know if you can hear it. But right there, we've got, there it is. You hear that dial tone? Yes, we can take calls live right here. You call 270-692-2651 if you've got a question about things we do here at the County Clerk Office. We do lots of things. Most of you are involved with motor vehicle transactions here. We also do elections and land records, and we're going to touch on all those subjects tonight on December 11th, 2025. Your question is important to us. You can see that Rosie there on the screen has a question that other people would like to know the answer to as well, and they're all thinking to themselves, I'm sure glad that Rosie asked that question. And Randy has a question that will help many people when he asks his, but Richard, he's got a question that is better than Randy or Rosie's, but we'll never know because Richard didn't ask his question. So your questions are important, not only to us, but to your fellow Marion Countyans. And so sure, if you got a question, ask it. I think I might have figured out how to get the Facebook comments to feed into this system that I've got cobbled together here on a shoestring budget. But if not, then my beautiful wife is going to text them to me. I just got a thumbs up from her, so that means that we're being seen and heard, so that's great. So let's get right into it. It is the month of December 11th to be exact, and that means that we've got a holiday schedule coming up, and let's touch on that first thing. You'll see our holiday schedule in the corner of the screen for the entirety of this live event. Unless I switch it, I've got one other thing queued up there. But for the most part, you're going to see the calendar there. But to blow it up there, you will see lots of green. Green are days that we are open. We do a lot of opening the doors here at the Marion County Clerk Office. But we will be closing them, for we will be following the state and county holiday schedule. We're here for the eves and closed on the day afters this year. So Christmas Eve, we're going to be here. We're going to be open, and we might not have a full staff that day, but we're going to be open, and we'll be here. as long as this building stays open. But the day after Christmas and that Saturday, since it's a holiday Saturday, we won't be here. So you'll see that noted on the calendar. Same thing with the week after. December 31st, New Year's Eve, we will be here. And when I say we, I mean we will have more staff on New Year's Eve than we do on Christmas Eve. There's no doubt about that. But again, the day after New Year's and that Saturday, since it's a holiday Saturday, we will be closed. December 31st is a big day at the Marion County Clerk's Office. One of the reasons that December 31st is a big day at the Marion County Clerk Office is because that's the last day to register to vote prior to the primary election. Primary elections, it's not the last day to register, it's the last day to designate your party affiliation. So primary elections, one of the questions that we want to touch on tonight is one that we got just this week. A couple of fellers I know well come in this week, and their question to me was, if I'm registered as one party, can I vote for somebody else in another party? And my answer to them was, it depends. Are we talking about a general election or a primary election? In the general election in November, you can vote for whoever you want. You can be registered as a Democrat, a Republican, an Independent, a Green Party member. It don't matter. You can vote for whoever you want. You can vote for a Republican on one race, a Democrat in another race, an Independent on another race. Leave the next one blank because you don't like any of them, and that's just fine in the November general election. Primary elections are different, though. Primary elections are held on the first Tuesday after the third Monday in May, and they are a nominating election for the two parties. A primary is closed to qualified members, registered voters of that party. And to be qualified, a voter must be registered as a member of that party by December 31st of the year preceding the primary. That's the reason that December 31st is a big day in the Marion County Clerk Office. You must also stay registered as a member of that party until the May primary to stay qualified for that primary election. So what do I mean by that? A voter can only vote in one party's primary because it's not an election like a general election. Like I say, on a general election, you can vote for whoever you want. But a primary election is the election in which the parties nominate their candidates to send to the general election. And you can only do one. You can't, as much as I would like to as a voter, I would like to vote in both party primaries. I want to be able to, I've got friends and that are registered as Republican and friends that are registered as Democrat, and I want to vote for these people. I've got people that I think would do a good job on both the Republican side and the Democrat side, and I would love to vote for those. But by December 31st, I've got to choose which one of those party primaries I'm going to participate in, and it's a tough decision. But it's a decision that, as a voter, we all have to make. So, yeah, and to a part of what really affects that decision is what offices and what candidates are going to be on the ballot. In this May primary, we've got lots of things on the ballot. Federally, we have the seat that is currently held by Senator Mitch McConnell, who's held that seat for essentially my whole life. Will be the first time that seat is not going to be held by Senator Mitch McConnell. It's an important election. We've also, in the first U.S. Congress, the first representative district, that'll be on the ballot this time. That's the seat currently held by James Comer. State Senate. This is one that a lot of people locally have an interest in, and understandably, it's one that I would like to. I've got an interest in this seat. It is currently held by Marion County's own Jimmy Higdon, and he has held this seat for several years and has been an asset to Marion County. It's been a true blessing that we can't really minimize how important it's been that Jimmy Higdon has been our state senator for so many years. It's the 14th state Senate district, and there are several candidates that have declared their intention to run for that seat, and a lot of people locally would like to make a choice in that. Our state house seat will also be in the primary. It's the 51st State House District. It's currently held by Michael Sarge Pollock out of Campbellsville. I haven't heard of that. Those filings happen at the Secretary of State's office, and it's kind of like UK recruiting. I can't hardly keep up until recruiting season's over. I don't follow the Secretary of State's filings daily. I haven't heard of a lot of interest in that, but I could have missed something. So I know that Sarge has filed again and will run again for that seat. But as far as any opposition, I haven't heard of that yet. But it could have, and I just am unaware. The offices that get filed here are the county offices. Anything within the county gets filed at the county clerk office. Any office that goes beyond county lines gets filed at the Secretary of State's office. So your federal seats, your state seats, those file at the Secretary of State's office. The offices that file here are all the county offices: property valuation, county judge executive, county attorney, sheriff, jailer, coroner, county clerk, county surveyor, and all 5 magistrates. We have 5 magistrates in Marion County. Let's see who all has filed so far locally. If you can read that, I said last in our 3rd live event that I need to change the font on that because it's getting too small for someone like me to read. But here it goes, and still got it on there. So I'm going to go down it real quick for you. And these are in order of filing. So the first person here on the filing day, when filing began on November 5th, was Tina Wright Huntsberger. Jackie Fogel was here. Ray Gardner. Tina Wright Huntsberger filing for jailer. Jackie Fogel for magistrate in District 4. Ray Gardner for sheriff. David Daugherty for county judge executive. Tony Furman for jailer. Craig Allen Bishop for magistrate District 3. Larry Snook Mattingly, magistrate District 2. Joe Pat Kirkland, magistrate District 1. Jeff Coel, sheriff. Chad G. Mattingly, county clerk. Terry Catfish Rakes for property valuation administrator. Caleb Buckman for magistrate District 5, and R. Allen Mattingly for coroner. Those who are those that have filed locally so far. So the filing deadline is January 9th for those partisan offices. The primary election doesn't include nonpartisan offices this year. For nonpartisan offices, we've got 2 school boards that'll be up, and then we'll also have the mayors and councils and commissions in our 3 incorporated cities in Marion County. We have 3 incorporated cities: Bradfordsville, Lebanon, and Loretto. All of the mayors and council members for those cities will be in the November general election. Their deadline to file is in June for nonpartisan elections. If you're interested in filing, we have the packets available here at the county clerk office. We also can include in that packet an outline of the duties of the position, so that if you're interested in something and you're unsure exactly what the responsibilities are of that office, we can provide that for you as well. Just, give us a holler, and we'll give you the information that we can, maps, etc. So, getting back to this December 31st deadline, we'll talk about voter registration, because that's the deadline to make sure that you're signed up and registered in the party that you want to participate in the primary election for. If I could make one change to Kentucky's incredible election law, it would be that the deadline to register and be eligible for a primary would be after the filing deadline, because it's hard to make that decision if you don't know who all the candidates would be. And there's 9 days after the registration deadline to check out the hey, look at that, I did get it right on the shoestring budget. I can see the comments from the chat on Facebook. Hold on, let me see if I can. I just got sidetracked by Joe Strong and Scott Lawson commenting, hot dog, on this shoestring budget, it is going to work. So I can see comments on Facebook. So if you've got a question, throw it up there. I think I'll be able to see it. So yeah, the voter registration deadline comes before the filing deadline, which I think is a little backwards, but I don't make the laws, and we follow the laws. Our current snapshot, and it's about as current as it gets. There hasn't been a whole lot of change since I made these numbers here. Yes, sir, Scott. June is the last day for City Council. Our current breakdown for voter registration is 55.98% registered as Democrat. There are 13,532 currently registered voters in Marion County, 7,575 of which are registered as Democrat. Republicans, 5,077, coming in at 37.52%. Registered as other, 461. Independents, 374. Libertarians, 34. Green, 5. Constitution, 3. Socialist Workers, 2. And Reform, 1. So that's how the voter registration breaks down in Marion County right now. How do you register to vote? This is an important part of what we need to know. There's a couple things you need to know. Are you going to be 18, not today when you register to vote, but by the November general election? That's the deadline. A 17-year-old can register to vote and be eligible in the May primary as long as they're going to be 18 by the November general election. Because again, the November general election is when people are elected. The primary election is when the parties decide on their candidates that they're sending to the general election. So we want to make sure that our address is correct, because that's when you sign in at the polling location to vote, one of the first questions you're going to get is, tell us your name and your address so that we can verify that matches. Your address is important because we need to make sure that you're voting in the right magistrate district. We need to make sure that you're voting in the right school board district. We need to make sure that if you're voting in a city election, that you actually live in the city that you're voting for. So that's one of the things that we're constantly updating here at the clerk offices is addresses and making sure that they're coded right. That way people get the right ballots. And so if you need to change your address, or if you're changing your party affiliation, or if you've been married and you need to change your name, or if you're changing your name because people change their names. Then there's a couple of ways that I will recommend that you register to vote. One of the ways, paper application. You can get them right down here at the county clerk's office. Fill it out while you're here. You can leave it here. We will make sure that it gets put in. When it's put in, you will get a little postcard in the mail that tells you that you are registered to vote. And if you don't get that postcard, call up here. Make sure that we got your application and that we didn't have any problems with it. Sometimes you get a postcard that said that there was an incomplete application. If that's the case, if you ever get one of those postcards, know that the answer and the solution to that problem is always fill out another voter registration card. We can't have enough of these. You can't do this too much. There's no limit on the amount of times that you can register to vote. There's a limit on when you can register to vote and change your party and be eligible for a primary election. But as far as not changing your party, you can do that. I mean, you can do it as many times as you want until December 31st. But always know that you can double check your voter registration and fill out a new voter registration card. The other way is to go to govote.ky.gov. This would be the way that I would recommend for most people. Excuse me. If you're watching this on Facebook or on YouTube, then you can handle going online and registering to vote. Govote.ky.gov is the ultimate resource for Kentucky elections. It's where you can apply for an absentee ballot when that portal becomes available. It's where you can register to vote. You can check your voter registration status. It'll tell you where the polling locations are, where the absentee ballot drop-off box is. We have one in Marion County, and it's here at the clerk office. Where the early voting locations will be, what the hours will be, where all the polling locations will be on election day. All of the information you need as a Kentucky voter is available to you at govote.ky.gov, and doing the registering to vote there is easy. Had a young man in here this week that wanted to register to vote. I gave him two options, the two options I just gave out to y'all. And in our office here, we've got a poster up that's got a QR code that takes you directly to it, so that it's the poster that you see on the screen there. That QR code will take you directly to the voter registration. And within seconds, the young man had registered to vote. I checked our voter registration system, and we got the application almost instantly. And before he left out of here, before his car was renewed, the young man was registered to vote. Sign up to work the poll. All right, we're getting to that real quick, Scott. I'm going to be talking about poll workers. But yeah, govote.ky.gov, register to vote, update your address, make sure that your party affiliation is correct for who you want to vote, which party you want to participate with in the primary election. Quickly, this is what the screens look like. On the right hand side there, you'll see the mobile version, and then on the bottom you'll see what it looks like if you're on a desktop or a laptop. If you don't see those screens, don't give that website to register to vote. You're giving out some personal information: your name, your address, your date of birth, your social security number. You can give it your email address and your telephone number as well, but those four, your name, your birth date, your address, and your social security number are required. So those are not something that you just want to give to any willy-nilly link that you see on the internet. Make sure that it's that govote.ky.gov. That G-O-V at the end means that we recently got our website as a .gov, and to do that you can't just go to GoDaddy and get that domain. So if it's got .gov, then it is a governmental entity. So make sure that your screens look like that if you utilize the online voter registration. Yeah, I was right. I told my wife that I might be a little bit longer than 30 minutes, and I'm going to be longer than 30 minutes because we're not even through the first section. I'm sorry, baby. So if you got questions, we're going to be here longer than 6:30. Important election dates. Maybe I just need to speed up a little bit instead of yabbering on and on and on. December 31st is the last day to choose your party affiliation before the 2026 primary election. April 4th is when that absentee mail-in ballot request portal comes online. The portal closes on May the 5th, and that's 14 days before the election. On the 6th, 7th, 8th, 11th, 12th, and 13th is when you have to have an excuse. You have to have a reason. You have to sign an application to vote absentee. But those are the 6 days that the law will allow us to do absentee voting in the office. You'll notice that the 9th, which is a Saturday, is not on that schedule. We will be here on May the 9th, most likely, doing motor vehicle and all of our regular Saturday transactions in the county clerk office, but we will not be able to allow you to vote because it is not allowed by law. But on May the 14th, 15th, and 16th, the early voting, the no excuse absentee ballot, or no excuse absentee, the early voting will be taking place we've generally done that out in the lobby here at this building, but last year we went to the library, which worked really good during the presidential election. We were one of 2 counties out of 120 that were open for 12 hours all 3 days. It was really neat to see that we would have that Friday and Saturday night, people would come by, couples would come by, they would vote, and then they go out to eat, and it was really neat to see. And then of course the election is on May the 19th, right? Oh geez, having a brain fart, and with my new contacts, reading that screen right there is not possible. So bear with me just a second while I pull up my calendar, because I don't want to. May the 19th. All right, trust your gut, Chad. That's what I thought it was, but man, I was having a brain issue for a second. So yeah, May the 19th. And if you got any questions, more information, give us a call here at 270-692-2651 during regular office hours, or right now during one of these live events, because I've got the phone right here. You want to hear it again? One more time. Why is it so low when I do that? Watch this. You can't hear the dial tone. Huh. Anyway. But yeah, call in if you've got a question, or put it in the comments. Let me check the YouTube comments. I doubt anybody's watching YouTube, but it doesn't hurt. Yep. Now, this is, I think, what you were asking about, Scott. Scott Lawson asks, when will you get with the ones that sign up to work the poll? This question could be off your topic. At the beginning of the year, all of the people on our poll worker roster will get a letter that will ask them if they want to sign back up. If you haven't ever signed up to be a poll worker, let me show you how much it is. Stick with me here real quick. All right. To sign up to be a poll worker, we got a lot of good ones. Huh. Yes, sir, Mr. Lawson. You will be getting a letter from us at the beginning of the year. The election plan for the county has to be in, and again, I'm kind of self-doubting myself here on dates, but I think it's January 20th is when we have to have it into the State Board of Elections. What the County Board of Elections, the plan for this year's elections, We will submit that after the filing deadline, just to make sure that, there's doesn't make a whole lot of sense to make a plan right now with not knowing how many candidates if you know how many candidates, then you can kind of anticipate turnout, and you need to anticipate turnout before you make a plan. We won't, most of the time, like last year was a presidential election that we knew was going to be a high turnout, so we pulled out all the stops, and Marion County will have the best around as far as plans. I'd put ours up against anybody. What makes that possible is our roster of precinct election officers, and that's what you got to fill out right there. It's not too much. Your name, your signature, your social security number, your address, and your telephone number. Your address so we can send you letters, your telephone number so that I can bug you and ask you to give up your Tuesdays and your Thursdays and your Fridays and your Saturdays sometime. Poll workers have one training. We generally try to get that in and out in a couple of hours, in which you get paid for. And the early voting is by the hour, and the election day is by the day. So there is payment. Our poll workers don't generally do it for the pay. We want to pay them a respectful amount, but they're all very dedicated to the process. And I have the utmost respect for the people that volunteer mostly their time for our, for elections, which are the cornerstone of our democracy. If you would like to be a part of that roster, come on down, fill out it takes seconds, and we'll get you on the roster. You can believe that. So we're after 6:30 here, and as most of you know, we do lots of things here at the clerk office. Elections are an important thing, but a fairly small portion of the many things we do here. I mean, it's a big undertaking, but our day to day is mainly motor vehicles is what most people see us for. Make sure I got through everything on the. Yeah, so let's transition from elections. If you got any questions about them, though, we can circle right back to them, because it's trying to help people understand the primary election system is one of the biggest impetuses behind this question and answer live event project that we've undertaken here. But switching to motor vehicles, one of the questions that we've had this week had to do with license plates. So license plates, if y'all remember, last year we switched to a new system in Kentucky. We went from a system that was older than me, a DOS-based titling and registration system, to something that is way more up-to-date and modern than that. The CABA system, state introduced it last January, and the crew here has ran with it as good as any county in the state. And but one of the big changes when we switched to CABAs was that the license plate, instead of staying with the vehicle, stays with the person. So when you sell a vehicle, you want to remove the plate from the vehicle and keep it, because that plate was issued to you. And an unexpired plate can be reissued to a new vehicle that you have. So, for example, the plates that I have on the vehicle that I'm driving out there in the parking lot right now, they expire in July. If I was to sell that vehicle, I would need to remove that plate from it, and until July, I could reissue it to another vehicle that I either own or that I buy. So be sure to keep your plate. And I can't stress it enough, especially in the era of Facebook Marketplace and internet auto trader sales. And um, when you buy a vehicle or when you sell a vehicle, whenever you have a transaction that involves vehicle ownership changing, meet the other party at the clerk office and go ahead and make sure that that happens. Because when you give somebody a signed title and that's notarized, that doesn't mean it's out of your name. It's like if I write you a check. If I write you a check and I give you that check, that money is still in my account. That money will stay in my account until you go and cash that check. And it's the same way with a title to a vehicle. When I give you a signed title, that vehicle is still titled to me until you go to the county clerk office and transfer it, or vice versa. If you give me a signed title, until I go to the county clerk office and transfer it, it's still in your name. And we see it every day. People that, well, I sold that vehicle in March. How come it's still in my name? Because that person never went and transferred it. Because you gave them a signed title and they sitting around riding around with it. And so yeah, meet them here. Make sure it happens, and you'll be better off for it. It might be an inconvenience, but that's the reason we're here every Saturday, except for holiday Saturdays, so that you can meet somebody here on a Saturday morning, and we can be here to help you get that transaction taking place. And that's we're just talking about December 31st. We're going to be here on December 31st, New Year's Eve, and that's a big day because any vehicle that's in your name on January 1st is the vehicle that you get the tax for it for that year. The tax is levied against the person that owns the vehicle on January 1st. For some people, somebody that's got a January birthday, that tax comes due immediately when they renew their vehicle. For some, like myself, I was talking about, I got a July. A license plate that expires in July. I don't pay that tax that was levied against me on January 1st until July. And then we've got people walking in every day right now. Here it is December, and they're just now paying that tax. So on January 1st, if it's in your name, you have the tax responsibility for that year. So if you sell one between now and the end of the year, meet them up here. We've got 2 more Saturdays left in this month. We've got this Saturday. That's 2 days away. The day is Thursday. It's been a long day. But, yeah, Saturday the 13th we'll be here, and Saturday the 20th. We won't be here the 27th or that first Saturday in January because of holiday Saturdays. We're here every Saturday except for holiday Saturdays. So with that plate staying with the person instead of the buyer, or instead of the vehicle, we had a question about temporary license plates this week. The person asking the question was selling a truck to an out-of-state buyer and wanted to get a temp tag for the buyer because the seller, our person here in our county, was going to very intelligently remove the plate from the vehicle that they were selling. That's exactly what you want to do. That plate is issued to him, so he was right to do it, and he should do it. Remove that plate. He don't want to see, especially one going out of state. Don't let the plate leave, because when they run that plate, it's coming back on you, not on that vehicle. We couldn't issue a temp tag to the out-of-state buyer. Pretty much the only time that we can issue a temp tag, a temporary license plate, is for a Kentucky buyer waiting for paperwork on an out-of-state title. So the vehicle must have Kentucky insurance in the person's name that the temp tag is being issued to. So if you're buying one out of state, if the roles were reversed there, if the script had flipped, and our guy, my friend on the east side of the county, was going out of state to buy a vehicle, then all he need to do is come in here with a proof of insurance on the vehicle that he was buying in his name and $3, and we'd issue him a temp tag. That way he could get it home. Any plate that's issued to you is issued to you. So that includes campers, that includes historic vehicles, that includes trailers. My two favorite plates to reissue are the historic vehicle plate, which is a $60 plate that lasts forever, and a permanent trailer plate, which is a $116 plate that lasts forever. So if you're selling one that has one of those plates on it, definitely take it off, call us, and we will cancel the plate off of that vehicle so that you can reissue it to another vehicle. So Scott's got a question. If I sell my camper and I don't need the plate, can I transfer the plate to them? The plate won't transfer to them. So it doesn't do them any good to let them keep it. I know we would want to, just because, hey, it's not, I'm not getting another camper. I don't need it. You can have it, but it's not going to do them any good because it's not going to transfer to them. And if that plate is going to come back to the seller. So yeah, if you sell something, take the plate off of it. If you don't have any use for it, then hang it on the garage wall. If you don't have a place for it, then you can bring it here and we can destroy it and recycle it. We're happy to do that. But yeah, the plate's yours nowadays. But if you go out of state and you're buying a vehicle and need a plate to bring it home, come by with the proof of insurance and $3, and we can issue you a temporary plate. Also, if you're watching this on Facebook or on YouTube, then you can definitely handle renewing your car tags online. It's you go through the state's website, drive.ky.gov. The direct link is there on your screen. It's secure.kentucky.gov/KYTC-renewal. Yeah, you can renew your car tags online. We'll mail them to you. The only problem is if you got any delinquent taxes on that camper that you sold last year, or the boat that's sitting behind the barn that you haven't used in 4 years because fishing sounds like something that you want to do a lot, but work tells you that you ain't got time to fish. If you got any kind of delinquent taxes or something, then yeah, it's not going to let you renew online. You can call in though with a credit or debit card. If you're using a credit or debit card anyway, you can call in and we can renew them online, or renew them over the phone and mail them to you. So there's ways to renew your vehicles without coming into the office, even though we're always glad to see you, especially during these busy times. Renewing online or by phone are an option. One of the important things that we do here is switching gears again, is land records and public records. The deed room in the back is there are several things that we do here that ensure freedom, ensure democracy, and but the guaranteeing of property ownership is something that's crucial to our country. And oh, my wife's saying she could hear the dial tone. And that's what our deed room does. We've got records that go back to 1863, from when the courthouse was burned during the Civil War. We've got land records that go back to 1863, and when someone's doing a title search on a piece of property, they can go all the way back to then. There's a little gap there between the time that we broke off from Washington County and 1863, but our records go back a long ways, and the deed to your property is in that deed room, and a lot of that can be found online. And if you're watching this Facebook Live, or I've said it, I guess every little section of the video here, if you're watching Facebook Live or watching this on YouTube, then you can definitely handle going online and searching our free online land record search. It's right there on our website, MarionCoClerkKY.gov. You'll click on the visit our free deed room. You don't have to have an account. You don't have to have there's no paywall. You go through all the agreement, you scroll down through there and hit accept, and you can look at land records, you can look at delinquent taxes, and you can look at marriage records from the comfort of your home 24 hours a day. It's mobile friendly now. It used to not be mobile friendly. It drove me crazy, but it is now. You can check out land records. We've got things indexed a long time ago, and every day we're getting more and more of the old deed books scanned and indexed and imaged and available online daily. Right now we're back to I can tell you what book. We're back into the 1950s for sure. I hate to say, but every day we've got a team that's working on that. That's doing an incredible job. We've utilized grant money to make this happen. We've utilized document storage fee funds to make this happen, and we're going to continue making it happen. One of these days, hopefully, everything that's in that deed room will be available online, including things like fiscal court minutes. The things that aren't online right now are available anytime that we're open, which is 8:20 to 4:20 Monday through Friday, and 8:20 to 11:50 on Saturdays, except for holiday Saturdays. You walk into the deed room, you can look at anything back there you want. Now, if you are looking at the old deeds that are getting kind of brittle, then, don't hesitate to ask for help, because we will help. But if you're looking for something like, for example, fiscal court minutes, and you're looking for something in particular in the fiscal court, you'll notice that they've been indexed by topic, like on this one. We'll just start at the top. There was a budget transfer to the detention center, and then they paid bills, and there was an agreement with Bradfordsville, and then, you've got this year's clerk budget and this year's sheriff budget, and there's where, people are hired at the sportsplex, and there's where they bought blinds for the meeting room. It's all in here, and it goes back for years and years. And the documentation that was included in that meeting, here's staff training for. Oh, that's one of Barry Brady's detailed monthly reports that he submits. There's the bank balances for November 21st of 2024. It's a bevy of information right here. Let me get that on camera. In the deed room. So if you can't find it online, you're welcome to come into the office anytime we're open. free of charge, hassle free. If you want to learn how to fish, I'll teach you how to fish back there. I'll show you how to look things up. And it's available to anyone, anytime. In person at the deed room. So another question that we had, here we are with almost an hour, and I'm just now getting to a question that we had from Miss Connie Osborne. Thank you, Connie, for asking this question. She asked that we talk about the title watch system, is what we call it. She asked that we talk about something to prevent deed fraud, which is, if you listen to the radio or watch Matlock, then you've probably seen a commercial or heard a commercial about some sort of alert system to prevent deed fraud. Well, free of charge on that Marion County, Marion CO Clerk KY.gov is a title watch notification system. On the screen there, you'll see the steps to sign up for that. And those are pretty cut and dry. To create a title watch, you register a new account. You supply the phone number and email that you register with, and that's where you will get your notifications at, either by email or by text. When you register, an email will be sent to you to the email address that you enter. You will need to verify the account with that email once it arrives. Then you log into your account, and on the left-hand side, you go to Title Watch and then Create. You read and accept the terms of service, kind of like whenever you go to our free online deed room, and you choose your desired county. In this case, it'd be Marion County, or there are other counties in Kentucky that are part of this. Taylor County, right next door, uses the same system through American Land Records. Data Records Management is the company. You fill out the form, you submit it, and then you'll get a welcome email or text, and the process is complete. You put in the keywords that you want to be notified on. Some people use their name, obviously, their spouse's name. Some people will sign up with their parents' names, their children's names, any kind of keyword. And I need to do something. I need to really, our online deed room now is better than it's ever been. And one of the features that we've got now that most counties don't is it's an intelligent search. They call it their AI search, but it's not like a large language model AI type thing. But it's a character recognition model, and you can put in a keyword. So historically, everywhere, forever, the indexes that we have that go back to 1863, you look up by grantor or grantee, or if you know the booking page, you can go directly to the booking page. So there were basically two ways to find it, and it was all dependent upon the person that indexed it on the day that it came in, which is prone to human error always. There's a system that is built by and conducted by humans will inevitably have an error. But so our system has always been grantor, grantee, or booking page, and then we'd also have a description there to let you know that if you found it. Now you can use an intelligent search where you can put in any keyword. You can put in address. You can put in a company name. You can put in. I used it the other day to pinpoint. I knew that the property that they were looking for had like 7.92 acres or something. So I put 7.92 acres in there, and it pulled up everything that had a reference to 7.92 acres, not only in the grantor grantee, the names, not only in the description, which has never been searchable before, but also in the scanned image. Our system now will also search the scanned images. So it really revolutionizes how we can look up information, because it takes away from that. It helps minimize that human error. It helps you can go directly to the document itself, which is much more accurate. And we're just now starting to really learn the benefits of it. And we've been on this new system since September is whenever we redid our contract. And when we redid the contract, I bid it out to a lot of other companies, and kind of figured out the best of everybody, and then went back to our company and said, this is what we can get everywhere else. What can you do? And our company, which we've been with for a long time, met all of our demands, and now we have as good a product as any that I've seen in the state. And part of that is this Title Watch program. So if you got questions about it, don't hesitate to give us a holler. We're kind of learning about it with you. We've got a local financial advisor that Mr. Dave Weinbrenner, that's kind of taken to it and trying to see how it can benefit his clients, and he's always looking for something to help his clients, and we're excited to help with that if we can. So we're right at an hour. One of the things, again, Title Watch, license plates, elections, anything you got questions about, don't hesitate to give us a holler here. We're here to serve. But one of the things that I wanted to do, this is our fourth one doing this live event, and one of the things that I wanted to do in this live event, and hopefully going forward, is I'd like to start highlighting county services that I think would be beneficial to Marion County that aren't part of the clerk office. And we're going to start that with the Career Center. A few years ago, the state began abandoning these local career centers and closing them down. Marion County was alone, really, in the state, and made the choice to fund ours locally. It was the result of working together in partnership with the City of Lebanon, the SWEDA over in Washington County, the Springfield, Washington County Area Economic Development Authority, I think is what the SWEDA stands for, and other local agencies. Since then, not only has the Career Center in Marion County survived, but it has prospered and expanded. And this is a direct result of the fiscal court, the county judge executive office, and most importantly, the employees there, Terry Thomas and Elizabeth Mattingly, that took the chance on becoming county employees instead of state employees. They put their faith in county government and have ran with it. Every day they work hard to make the Marion County Career Center the envy of all the counties that let their career centers close up, and the impact to the Marion County economy and quality of life is unquestioned. Not only and you'll see their contact there, 692-6870, and their hours. Not only does it affect and benefit, it benefits employers with job postings and job fairs. I think they had one today for Komatsu, maybe tomorrow too. One of Marion County's great employers. They do those job fairs virtually or in person. They have on-the-job training funding. They have apprenticeship support. You can read this. They have they compile data that helps employers with what the local labor market looks like, demographics and figures that help employers make wise decisions and hopefully to think about Marion County as a place where they want to do business. But the benefits to job seekers, to Marion Countyans, is tremendous, and that's what Terry and Elizabeth and the whole crew out there at the Career Center. That's what they do. They help people find jobs, and they're the they're the matchmakers. They're the ones that put employers and employees together. They have career fairs. They have job listings, and some of the expansion that has taken place is they've got a veterans rep that's on site. I don't know if they're there every day, but they're there a lot, and they've got a community support specialist that helps people re-enter the labor force. People that have had challenges in their life, people that have had challenges in their life either by their own choosing or by their own choices or by circumstances or however, but people that are looking to get past, to rise above their challenges and to re-enter the workforce and be productive members of society. And the Career Center has, and the county has funded a new community support specialist. Brandon Wilson does an incredible job with that. It's we're lucky to have all of the programs and services that the Career Center offers. Preparation for GED, the industry testing, the tape test, and the Bennett Mechanical. They will help you with resume writing, with identifying and giving you information on high demand career pathways. Right now they're offering an EMT. It was in this fiscal court was a week ago, and they were talking about the EMT training that's happening out there Tuesdays and Thursdays for free. So yeah, the Marion County Career Center is on Workshop Lane. That's right behind the health department on North Spalding Avenue, like you're going out towards Springfield, leaving town. On your left, it's in behind the health department. They're open. Let me put that back up again. Their contact information. That's what their Facebook page looks like. If you're watching this on Facebook, then you'll see that's what their Facebook page will look like. What's the big picture called on Facebook? Facebook, the little round one's the profile picture. The big one's the brain fart. It's not wallpaper. Anyway, that's what their big picture looks like. Is right there. So yeah, Marion County Career Center, one of the county services that we wanted to spotlight this time. And I told my wife it was going to be maybe a little bit longer than 30 minutes, and here I am over an hour yammering on. But I do appreciate the questions that we got. I do appreciate the people that have been able to hopefully maybe learn something about the primary election cycle, motor vehicles. Hopefully I kept somebody from having a vehicle that didn't get transferred before the first of the year. We had a visitor today. Let's end it on this Christmas season. We had a visitor today in the office. The Grinch came to visit and deliver our mail If you notice right there, the mailbag on the Grinch. They say he's a mean one, that Mr. Grinch, but we thought he was a nice fella, and we sure do appreciate him coming by today. And you'll notice right there in that picture the people that make it happen at the county clerk office. I am but a small part of what happens up here. The people right there that they're the ones that, it's like when I was talking about our poll workers, our precinct election officers, elections don't happen without them. The county clerking don't happen without the folks in that picture right there. I was on a phone call earlier that lasted a little while, and I looked and had a text, and somebody said, "Are you in the office?" And I didn't text them back until after we closed, but I told them, "Yeah, sure, I'm here," and they just texted back, "I got it taken care of." And I said, "Good, I'm sorry I was on a phone call that lasted a little longer than I thought." They was like, "No problem. One of your crew helped me. You have a good staff." And I just replied, "The best." It don't get any better. When I was talking about CAVIS implementation last year, this crew, Marion County staff, took to it quicker than anybody in the state. We've got, with our land records, are as good as anybody in the state. Our election prep is as good as anybody in the state. Our customer service is as good as anybody in the state, and it's Melissa, Ann, Janice, Pam, right there with the Grinch. It is the ones that aren't in that picture, Michelle and Mary Beth and Laura and Abby, and the crew that we have doing backfiling with, Trista and Mason and Julia Rose and Jake and John Connor, and who am I know I'm missing somebody, and I'm so sorry that I am. But yeah, the best crew. I've been saying it for years. I'm the luckiest man in Marion County, and I'm the luckiest clerk in Kentucky, and you got that right every day, and I'm so thankful for them. So with that said, on behalf of those fine folks, the people that I get to work with every day, the people that I'm blessed to call my co-workers, on behalf of all of us here at the Marion County Clerk Office, I'm going to leave you with our December schedule there. I'm going to thank you for allowing us to serve you. I thank you those that have, you're welcome, Terry. You're welcome, Laura. Thank you all for being here. I want to thank those that asked a question, and those that have made it this far into the stream or the recording. We should do this one more time before today's the 11th. I'm going to try to do at least one more before Christmas, and try to do 2 more this year, because like I say, December 31st is a big deadline. And if life happens and I'm not back on here before December 25th, I want to wish y'all a very Merry Christmas. Marion County's the best, and I appreciate y'all letting us be a part of it. So I hope everyone has a great night. I'm Chad Mangley, your county clerk, and I'll see you all next time. I'm going to take you back out with that beautiful Marion County flag flying under a beautiful blue sky. Y'all have a great night. I'll be home in a minute, baby.